Hey friends, how's the weather where you are? I hope everybody's warm and safe. Here in Kentucky, it is cloudy and there's lots of snow and it's still coming down. The snow is beautiful, but today I thought we might be able to use a good dose of sunny medicine for our spring fever. Today I'm sharing how to make a quick and easy lawn and garden toolbox DIY to help you get a jump start on those spring projects. I used OSB board for this project because I needed something really strong and durable. I knew it was going to house our taller, heavier lawn and garden tools. OSB stands for Oriented Strand Board. That's an engineered wood. It's similar to plywood, but it's stronger, and it is fairly water resistant. It is typically used for subflooring and roofing projects, and it's also cheaper than plywood. Our Lowe's store has it for $30.75 for a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet. You've heard the rule, measure twice, but only cut once. The boards we had on hand were not quite 4 by 8-foot sheets, so I cut them into 4 sections that were 25 inches by 41 inches. Next, I measured and cut the 2 by 4 into 8 6-inch pieces. Sometimes I use a square and sometimes I use my T-square when drawing a straight line. I am happy to say that this project cost $0. We actually had all the supplies on hand already, leftovers from previous projects. Now, if you were to start this from scratch and have to go make your purchases for your OSB board and your screws and glue and whatnot, the OSB board was $30.75 a sheet at our local Lowe's, and a 2x4 was $7. A box of deck screws, $10, a tube of Gorilla Glue, $5, and a set of 4 caster wheels, $20, for a grand total of $103. I'm sure if you price shop, you can get at least some of these items for a lesser price. If you choose to paint and have paint on hand, that's a savings. Otherwise, that would get added to the cost of supplies. Now that my wood is cut, I'm going to attach an end piece with a side piece using Gorilla Glue. For added support, due to the size and weight of the box, I'm attaching corner blocks with deck screws. 1 screw each is needed in the short and long sides of the corner block to support the adjoining OSB boards. Here I repeat the process in the bottom corner. I could have used large metal L braces for the corners, but I decided that wood would be a better choice for the size of this project. I did add Gorilla Glue to all sides and corners for added stability. Gorilla Glue comes in various sizes. Some is in bottles, some is in tubes, and there are others that would have provided for better application than the tube that I'm using here, but because that's what we had on hand, that's what I'm using. I didn't skimp on the glue either because I wanted to be sure that I gave these boards a little bit of extra added stability. Now it's time to connect another side to the end piece, and I'm going to hold it in place for several seconds so that adhesive can start working in preparation for another corner block to be attached with screws. It's always good practice to drill slowly to prevent wood from splitting, although I don't think that would be a problem with OSB board, and it makes for easier adherence when you are screwing one piece of wood to another. And always be sure to tighten your screws. At this point, the project's well underway and there is just one final edge to take care of. Again, we reinforce that edge with Gorilla Glue and we place 2 screws on each corner into the corner blocks. I did that for each top corner as well as each bottom corner. This toolbox is definitely not going to fall apart anytime soon. So what do you guys think? It looks pretty easy, right? Here I am adding the last corner block and reinforcing with the last 2 screws, and now we're cutting out the bottom piece. It will measure 24 by 25.5 inches. Now it's time to apply the Gorilla Glue to all of the bottom edges. Thought you all would enjoy hearing some of the background sounds of summer. Be careful placing this bottom piece on here, as you don't want to displace the glue that you have tenaciously squeezed the last drop out of. Now it's time to eyeball it and make sure all the corners are lined up evenly. And now we're going to attach the last screws. I wanted my toolbox to be functional and mobile, and it really needed to be that way because it's so heavy, and I wanted it to be easy to move. I don't know where I got these wheel casters from. I've actually had them for several years, and I just knew I would work on a DIY project in the future and that they would come in handy. So I'm glad to say that they finally did. You have no idea how happy I am to be using these casters. They are a heavy metal, and they're not plastic wheels, so you can get these in your local hardware stores such as Lowe's, Home Depot, and you can also get them online. Be sure and select casters that are suitable for the weight of your toolbox. My toolbox is really heavy. I knew I needed an industrial strength caster, and also because of the heaviness, I knew that I wanted to have casters that had brakes. Mine had brakes, thankfully. You can get them with brakes or without brakes. You may have noticed that I'm using washers before I attach the casters to the toolbox. The reason for that is the holes in the casters were much larger than the head of my screws. Using the correct size washer solves that problem. Now we're placing our final caster, and it's time to clean up. And now we're going to admire our custom-made lawn and garden toolbox. So glad I made mine with wheels because I'm a little gal and this toolbox is almost as big as I am. You can choose to paint yours if you'd like, but for now, I'm just going to leave mine as is. For years, we used either a 5-gallon bucket or those plastic tool organizers with the holes, and the tall yard and garden tools kept falling over, and that system just didn't work for us. And now I'm happy to say that will no longer be a problem. So here's my new toolbox in its happy place. Wondering what my next project will be? You guessed it, that garage. If you got value from today's content, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.